So today has been the day they wanted to talk about the 1991 incident, and that's their suggested topic. So before I start that, I'm going to tell you this. In this apartment, like I said, I live in a fireproof building, and they want to know the exact date when I knew they were listening to me, because there were times when I spoke out loud. And when I spoke out loud, I'm entitled to say what I want to say. So I'm going to start with what they said they heard me say. They said I used the 1991 incident to test a relationship with a friend. They also heard me say that I kept the name of the person who was going to start a race war in our school private. Now let's get to the 1991 incident. The reason we're talking about it today is because they used the dump truck sound, which is a sound they said they used to sync. And we already know, they want to be the ones to know more than me. This is what this turned into. This turned into a competition where they wanted to know more than me. But if they were the ones doing it, they wouldn't want to know more than me because they would already know more than me. And that's my point. I've been saying this from the beginning. The other point about this is that because that proves that it started in 2016 as opposed to when they're saying it started. The other point about that is they said the dump truck sound is a sound that they played, and they're doing it to sync my mother's brain now with this system, which goes back to the point where this wasn't being done before 2016. So here's the 1991 incident. The elementary school friend threatened to kill and kidnap my former classmate. She didn't do it all at once in the beginning. She did it in a series of prank calls that were escalating. They love the word exacerbating, just like this. You see how, if you've been following along, this has gotten worse, increasingly worse, where I was once able to come on camera with swelling, and then every time you see me, I'm swollen. It escalates. It goes in increasingly worse phases. And so they said the reason they were afraid was because in 1991, when she threatened to rape, kidnap and murder the elementary schoolmate threatened to rape, kidnap and murder my former high school schoolmate who I hadn't been in touch with. I went to someone who was my friend, and I started to tell her. She said, "Tell me exactly what happened." And as I was telling her the call, she said, "Tell me what they said. Don't explain it, or don't, you know how I'm doing in my videos. And I tell you this is what I tend to do, explain. No, tell me word for word." And then she turned it around on me. Fortunately, someone trusted me enough to get the information and make sure it was put aside and not happened. It didn't happen. And they thought I would not believe that it was going to happen. The problem with this is that I went to my mother also, and the elementary schoolmate's mother called my mother. This is how bad they are. This is the type of people they are. And said, "Oh, it was a misunderstanding. It wasn't the elementary schoolmate. It was her brother. It was a misunderstanding. Maybe I had a little confusion." And from then on, the mothers said, "Okay, we're going to put this to rest and we'll move on from here." Biggest mistake I've ever made, but I was 17. I turned 17 in December. This happened, I believe, in about May or June. I'm not sure the exact date. I should have written it. And that's my point with this. Everyone knew the truth. I didn't know all the details, but I knew this was happening. I knew it didn't happen because I took the chance and told someone who I thought I could trust. And instead of staying silent, I continued to pursue it. And I told my mother. Now, you can explain to yourselves why this would happen that way. So some people say, "Why didn't you just call the police?" Because I didn't trust that this elementary schoolmate was being honest on the phone. But I felt that it was honest. And because of what's happened to me over the course of the years, I believe 100% it was honest. They tried to kill me. They let me take the blame for something that they knew damn well was happening. How do I know for sure that was happening? Because even though the other person who ended up putting it to rest didn't tell me all the details, they told me the elementary schoolmate was doing it to someone else in her school. And she has a pattern of doing this. And these assholes who don't want to tell the truth made the mistake of saying it out loud in this apartment to confirm every last detail. There was a fucking notebook detailing how they were going to kill this girl. Just like they're killing me. And just like they threaten every day to kill my mother. This is who they are. And I have more than enough examples that this happened before. So if they want to get caught up on the details, those are the details. And everyone in the world is going to hear it. That's who they are. They sat there and let a 17-year-old girl, which is me, have to deal with this and have it on my conscience. I was 17. They were 18-year-olds. They were adults. The mother was in her 40s. She was an adult. And they didn't give a shit about me. And I was a minor. So that's giving you some of this information. And I'm going to continue to talk about it because they should be embarrassed to take advantage of children. Yes, it's child abuse.